All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. I got a video that's going viral on my main channel about Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis. You should definitely check that out. But first, let's talk here about Anthony Smith and Poetan because Pereira and Anthony Smith apparently got into it back and forth. Now, I saw what Anthony Smith said about Poetan, and then I saw what Poetan said back about Anthony Smith. Now, apparently, Anthony has responded since then, and I have not seen it yet, so I'm going to react to it in this video. Now, obviously, if you watch my content, you guys all know that I am buddies with Anthony, so like my normal reaction would be to side with him. But in all fairness, like just purely as an unbiased observer, I think something was lost in translation when Poetan heard what Anthony said, because Anthony did not say anything super, like he didn't say anything bad about Poetan. He really didn't. I'm going to show it to you, and then I'll tell you exactly what I mean. So let's rock and roll. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would appreciate it if you did that. We're growing huge on this channel, dog. That's the word. What? Anyway, let's watch this real quick. All right. So here's what we're talking about.
Alex Pereira had some words for Anthony Smith today. Prior to UFC Singapore this past weekend, Smith made remarks about Pereira's debut against Jan Blachowicz. He said, "I thought Alex looked pretty good, and to be fair, I thought Jan looked pretty good as well. He was able to do a lot of things that Jan Blachowicz typically does to be successful, and I think that Alex had a little bit of an eye-opening moment at 205 though. He's not the large, scary monster that he was at middleweight. He's a fairly normal dude. Now, because he's so technical and has such an incredible striking game, he's always going to be special, but in terms of just size and power, he doesn't stand out amongst all the 205ers. And I don't think that Pereira is more powerful and explosive than Alexander Rakic. He's not stronger than a guy like Magomed Ankalaev. These dudes are big, powerful, hard-hitting dudes. Every single one of them. Because he's such a good striker, he's still going to be special, but it's not going to be just his power and strength that's going to push him over the top anymore." Alex Pereira responded via his YouTube channel.
Right there real quick. Was that super inflammatory? Like seriously, was that super inflammatory? He said nothing bad there at all. All he said was that at 205, the fact that he, at middleweight, Pereira is enormous and crazy powerful, and that plays a huge factor in his success thus far. That's all he said. And he's saying at 205, it's a different ballgame. It's 20 more pounds. Do you think he's more explosive than Alexander Rakic, more powerful and strong than Ankalaev? I don't think so. He's amazing, and he's always going to be amazing because he's so technical. But just in terms of size and strength, fighting at 205 is different. That's literally all he said, which is objectively true. That's objectively true. Now, Pereira did not like that one bit. So watch this. Now, he comes back and he said, Anthony did. I can't even rate on a 0 to 10 on Anthony talking trash because he wasn't even talking trash. His was at a 0. He was just making an objective, review of Pereira at 205.
Here's what he had to say.
Vai ver que é cara frustrado, entendeu? Porque quem fala mal de mim é cara do tipo que nem Anthony Smith, né? Cara veterano que não conseguiu nada, né? Tá lutando ali, numa situação bem complicada, ou o cara que tá lá embaixo ainda, mas pessoas melhores, assim, que estão bem, eu não vejo falando de mim, entendeu? Só são pessoas que estão abaixo, entendeu? Ou pessoas que tentaram e não conseguiram, pessoas frustradas, que nem o Anthony Smith.
Okay, so again, Anthony didn't say anything negative about Poetan at all, at least in that clip.
É isso. Bom, eu não gosto de fazer, isso, vir aqui, falar mal das pessoas. Na verdade, não tô nem falando mal, só tô falando a realidade. Mal é o que esses caras fazem comigo, entendeu? Tá aqui e quer falar do meu nível técnico. Pô, tô ganhando,
He said your technical skill is good. This is what I'm saying, dude. This, something got lost in translation here because Anthony was complimenting his technical skill. He was saying it was amazing. He said he's special because he's so technical.
Ganhei de todo mundo aí, cara. Perdi pra Adesanya, pô, entendeu? Esses caras querem falar o quê? Entendeu? E é isso, um cara que é frustrado, né? Acho que ele fez um main event, né? Graças ao John Jones, porque se não fosse o John Jones, ele não tinha feito esse main event.
And that's gonna wrap it up.
I mean, he's been a main event like 100 times.
For the news, thanks for watching.
Yeah. So, again, I just wanted to play this because my reaction to that was I was like, what on earth? I'm like, dude, Anthony was being complimentary. He was just pointing out an obvious reality, which is that at 205, Poatan is not as big compared to how big he is at 185. Now, let's look at this real quick because apparently there is
I think he's going to do.
There's a clip right here of the two of them, of two of my boys talking, apparently. So you got Anthony and Brendan talking about Pereira here. Hang on.
Well, as long as they match him up correctly. And I think they kind of started off on a bad foot already, to be honest.
Agree.
I think you take Jan, you take a guy like Ankalaev is a problem for him.
Can't fight him.
I think there's questions, I guess is what I'm getting at. His chin issues are a weight cutting issue because he is sucking himself down so far. If that solves itself a little bit, I think that he's going to do very well. If he has any chin issues at all, the problem at 205, especially right now, is there's some straight bangers.
You boys,
there's guys they'll step right in the fire too. It's like heavyweight power with, middleweight athleticism. Even Jamal Hill will give him problems because Jamal he's so willing to fight. He won't shy away from that fight, I guess is what I'm getting at. Believes in himself ultimately, which is its own kind of superpower. Mm-hmm. Johnny Walker is probably tailor-made for Alex Pereira because there's no other threat.
I thought that Johnny Walker was going to be his first fight. Alex Pereira, his reign at light heavyweight is all going to depend on matchups. And the Jan one, I was like, not the fight I'd give him.
I think he's going to do well as long as they match him up.
Dude, he didn't say anything bad about him there either. I don't understand. He literally didn't say anything bad about him there either. Like nothing. Dude, that is so weird. What has Pereira been out of shape about? Like this has to be a translation issue. Like there has to be some kind of issue with the translation because there's not one thing Anthony said that a person who has, clear understanding of what he's saying would have been like, you know what? Whoa, what? What the fuck that dude's saying? Like nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing. So whoever's translating for Poatan needs to fucking do a better job because you're starting shit for no goddamn reason.